Bitcoin, Beginner to Boss. Everything you'll ever need to know about the king of cryptocurrency. Written by Parker Thomas. Narrated by Tom Brooks. Introduction. When you dig into the details of Bitcoin, it is an absolutely out-of-this-world story, ripped right from a futuristic sci-fi fantasy. And while it may seem like science fiction, it's getting very, very real, very fast. Bitcoin is now the best-known iteration of digital currency on the planet. So to help you wrap your head around exactly what it is, what it does, and how to get your digital hands on a piece of all the buzzworthy Bitcoin action, I've endeavored to create this easily digestible but nutrient-dense beginner's guide to becoming a Bitcoin boss. I made this book because it's exactly what I wish I had read before diving into the wild world of crypto. And I know it's going to put you on the absolute best path towards your first Bitcoin investments. But before we go any further, I just want to reiterate that investing in cryptocurrency or online tokens of any kind is highly speculative, and the market is largely unregulated. Anyone considering it should be prepared to lose their entire investment. I will also let you in on a safer, some might say smarter way to invest in the entire Bitcoin market without the hazards and hassles of buying and storing Bitcoin. Now that pesky little disclaimer is out of the way, here comes everything you ever need to know about the king of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a consensus network that enables a new payment system and completely digital form of money. It is the first decentralized peer-to-peer payment network that is powered by its users with no central authority or middlemen. From a user perspective, Bitcoin is pretty much like cash for the internet. Bitcoin can also be seen as the most prominent triple-entry bookkeeping system in existence. Who created Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first implementation of a concept called cryptocurrency, which was first described in 1998 by Wee Day on the Cyberpunks mailing list, suggesting the idea of a new form of money that uses cryptography to control its creation and transactions, rather than a central authority. The first Bitcoin specification and proof of concept was published in 2009 and in cryptography mailing list by Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi left the project in late 2010 without revealing much about himself. The community has since grown exponentially, with many developers working on Bitcoin. Satoshi's anonymity often raised unjustified concerns, many of which are linked to a mainstream misunderstanding of the open-source nature of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin protocol and software are published openly, and any developer around the world can review the code or make their own modified version of the Bitcoin software. Just like current developers, Satoshi's influence was limited to the changes he made being adopted by others, and therefore he did not control Bitcoin. As such, the identity of Bitcoin's inventor is probably as relevant today as the identity of the person who invented paper. Who controls the Bitcoin network? Nobody owns the Bitcoin network, much like no one owns the technology behind email. Bitcoin is controlled by all Bitcoin users around the world. While developers are improving the software, they can't force a change in the Bitcoin protocol because all users are free to choose what software and version they use. In order to stay compatible with each other, all users need to use software complying with the same rules. Bitcoin can only work correctly with a complete consensus among all users. Therefore, all users and developers have.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?